Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another edition of Track Walk in MX Simulator, where today we're going to be playing a track called Powder Mountain Motocross Track. It's Powder Mountain Ski Resort Motocross Track, I should specify. This one is a bit of a throwback. It is a Staydown track. It was Staydown's 500th post on the forums, which was, I think, back in 2014 or 15 or so it's been a little while. And to be honest with you, I was just kind of like looking through some old tracks the other day, and I came across this one, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely did this one for a track walk, so this looks cool, but I'll just pass it along. But I just, out of the blue, decided to look and see if I'd actually done it for a track walk or not, and I hadn't, and I was kind of surprised, because I definitely remember playing it, and I don't remember what for. I guess the only thing I can think of is maybe like Jeremy and I played this one day and we're like, okay, maybe we'll do like a fun edit on this track, or we'll just mess around on it for a video or something like that. But I never did a track walk on it, so I was kind of mystified, because I definitely remember this track. It's a cool track, it's a fun track, and it has a pretty interesting backstory. So I wanted to play it today, kind of share it with you guys, and talk about it a little bit. So first of all, it is Powder Mountain Ski Resort, which is located, I think it's like 15 to 10 miles or so outside of Ogden, Utah. So this is also kind of like timely, because obviously everybody's in Utah right now for Supercross, riders and teams and all this other stuff. So we keep seeing people posting like, oh, it just snowed in Park City and blah, 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 which that's not exactly that close to this particular track. Ogden, Utah is like north of Salt Lake City by 20 or so miles, and then this is north of that by another 15 miles or so. So it's not really that close to Park City. Like I think it's probably 40 to 45 miles away from Park City, where all these guys are staying. But this track doesn't exist anymore, actually. It was a real track, and that's why I was talking about it having an interesting backstory. So back in 2009, I believe this was, if I got my dates right, the guy that like kind of helped create and promote and run the Mammoth Motocross, which is a very popular California regional motocross that happens. It's I'd say it's kind of California's like Minios, I would guess. I feel like that's wrong in saying that, but it's like a big event. Like it's an amateur / semi-pro motocross event that attracts a lot of people. It's in Mammoth Mountain, which is a like a ski resort town in the Sierra Nevadas, and it's a really cool track. And it's like kind of an anomaly that in California of all places we can still have a motocross race in this gorgeous landscape ski mountain resort type of thing. So the people who promoted that event got together. I think this guy was named Lawrence Lewis, that wanted to run an event similar to that in Utah. And he was close buddies with Jeremy McGrath, so Jeremy McGrath used some of his kind of leverage and started pulling things together. And they came to this place, this Powder Mountain Ski Resort place, with this concept that they wanted to build a motocross track on this ski resort and host a summer national up in this ski resort, which I think the ski resort actually has like downhill bike parks and stuff like that on it anyway. So it wasn't like they were completely out of left field to have something like this come in and kind of visit them or whatever. And I think they ran this Powder Mountain Ski Resort Motocross Classic for a couple of years. I don't know how successful or not it was. I really know nothing about the event history or anything. I just did some quick research on it. But yeah, it's, as far as I know, it's pretty much gone. If you go to Google Maps today, I was able to figure this out just by very closely looking. But if you look at the Powder Mountain Ski Resort, like right next to the lodge and where the ski lift takes you up, you can still see the imprint of this track there, like on Google Maps. I'm sure if you went there in person, you would still see some of the cutout of the hills and some of the jumps and other things that were set up for it. And but it's gone. It's not a track anymore. So it's kind of like a blast from the past, like I said, with a unique backstory that it's a real motocross track. I know people kind of enjoy when I find these real motocross tracks that are kind of more like local raceways, and I know this one kind of sucks a little bit because this one's gone, so I don't think many people that are watching this video would have like either done that race or remembered this or anything like that. Maybe you did, I don't know, but that's about the history of it that I know. If anybody is from Utah in the area and maybe raced this event or knew about this event and has some more info to share, it'd be really cool to hear more backstory about this, because I don't like, why did it fail? Did more money get involved, or did the government not really like having a motocross race on a ski resort, or what have you? It's really weird because I feel like Utah, from what I can tell, doesn't have a lot of motocross tracks, which is kind of weird for the state of sport, and they're trying so hard to have a supercross race there and all this stuff like that, and then there's very limited motocross track options there. Like there's the Ogden, Utah Plex or whatever it's called, and then there was a motocross track at Miller Motorsports Park and stuff like that, but I don't know, there's hills everywhere and it doesn't seem like a lot of motocross tracks, so I was kind of curious because it seemed like this one would have been pretty popular. It's a really cool track. It's got a lot of elevation change. It's really hard to time these two jumps in the straightaway because you get so much speed coming down this hill. But look at all the elevation change. I mean, this is insane how much up and down this track goes. It like totally fits all my descriptors for what makes an epic motocross track. And then on top of that, the landscape is gorgeous, like pine trees and big mountains all around you. I'm sure that at some point when they were building this track and other things, like the mountains around them probably had like some snow on them or snow caps and stuff like that. Like that stuff is awesome. I would love to go ride tracks with snow capped mountains around, and I'm sure the soil was probably pretty good and stuff like that. I don't know, like this track just looks amazing to me. I would have loved to ride it in real life, personally speaking. So like I said, if anybody has more information, more backstory to it, love to hear it. It sounds incredible. But Staydown, who is a legendary track maker in this game, he's created, a lot of tracks, and a lot of them I feel like most people don't even know about because Staydown hasn't produced stuff in the game for quite a while. But he released a lot of good tracks. There's like every track I've ever played by Staydown, it was very clear there was a lot of work that went into it. He put a lot of work into the environment and made sure that everything kind of fit perfectly together. He, I think, was pretty good at Blender and some 3D, modeling and stuff like that. So he obviously built a lot of these things, like this finished model, the ski resort itself. I don't know about the trees and other stuff like that, but clearly he put in time to building these tracks, and this is a great one. Now, one thing I will say about this that I don't know how true it is to the actual landscape around it and other things like that, but this traction is so grippy. Like it'll grab your tire and you'll loop out, and it gets you moving pretty quick and stuff like that. And from some of the videos that I saw of this track, it seemed like the track was pretty dry and blue groovy, like not really chocolatey and like hooked up and all that stuff like that. I don't know how true that is. Again, I'm just, from what I've seen and been able to look up. But this track moves you, man. Like you start flying around this track in a hurry, and it doesn't take that long to start going through the gears, as you can probably see from my playing of it. Like I'm just cruising around in third gear most of this track, and it's pretty easy to get going in like fourth or fifth because it just, like, I don't know, like you just run through the gears so fast with how much this traction hooks you up. So I don't know. I have no idea if that's local to the area or not. Like I said, I've been to Utah once or twice or a couple times like that, but they're always at the southern part of the states, like St. George, and I've been to Bryce Canyon and Zion National Park and a couple other things like that, but never been to Salt Lake City, never ridden there, anything like that. So again, just calling on my awesome fans for more of a backstory, because I would just personally, I'm pretty curious about this track. Aside from this being a cool track, and like I said, I wanted to do it for Track Walk because it looks great, it rides great, it's a beautiful looking track. Like I said, I'm just calling on you guys for more help about this because this is crazy. I'm baffled that something like this didn't work. I would really like to know why. Maybe somebody who comments will know, but seemed like it was a pretty good win-win situation to me. Like Mammoth, I think, is an incredible race every year. It's always got a lot of fans. I've been to it, I think, twice. I know I've been to it once. I don't know if I've been to it twice or not. And eventually I'd like to race it. But it's a gorgeous facility. The dirt is like so not California dirt, and that's because it's, really high up and it probably has a lot of snow on it all year long, but it's like loamy, but sand. I don't know, like it's not, I wouldn't call it East Coast dirt at Mammoth. It's it's like a loamy hard pack. I guess, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but that's the only thing I can derive from it. It's just a lot loamier than any of the dirt that we have in any other track in Southern California, or in California really for that matter, as far as I can tell. And you know, the facility's great, the elevation change is awesome, and then it's right outside of Mammoth Lakes, so there's hiking and trail riding and mountain biking and awesome things to do in the city, and in the, you know, obviously in the winter you can go skiing and snowboarding on the slopes and stuff like that. It's a beautiful place, and I've always just been fascinated by people that are able to build motocross tracks in areas like this, because it's almost like untouchable landscape, you know what I mean? Like, it's, at least in California, it always mesmerizes me that Mammoth still runs because of, you know, the Green Party and everybody with progressive thinking and stuff like that. Oh, you know, we can't have these motorized vehicles hurting our environment, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I know in other places of the world that, you know, beautiful places like this, they're like, yeah, whatever, build a motocross track, it'll look awesome. I agree. I think motocross tracks should always be in beautiful places like this, personally speaking, instead of on like some flat pad in a construction yard. But you know what? I'll take what I could get, because I gladly ride dirt bikes anywhere I can. So anyway, just another kind of fun backstory about this track, another fun track in general. Hence why I wanted to do it for you guys, so that you guys could try it out for yourself, play it, tell me what you think, and maybe add a little bit more to the backstory. So yeah, this is Powder Mountain Ski Resort Motocross, an MX simulator made by Staydown. Great track, a lot of fun. If you want to try it out, head down to the description below. Download it today, try it out with your friends, maybe even hold a race on it, turn it into the Powder Mountain Ski Resort Classic and Sim eventually, who knows. But yeah, awesome track and quality stuff from Staydown as always. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, appreciate you guys stopping by and watching another video here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.